What is up, everybody? Welcome to the MMA Engine. We're going to be talking some Dana White's Contender Series here, Season 6, Week 1. Looking forward to the season here. I think we have 8 weeks in a row. Should be a fun time. I'm here with Lou Betya. Lou, what is up? You looking forward to Week 1 here?
I am, man. Last season was like my favorite season of all time. I got Javid Basharat. I got Melsik Bagdasarian. I got, Mahashate, of course, ending the season strong. And the legendary Wheezy's favorite, Johnny Parsons. So I'm excited to see who comes out of this crop. 2 weeks from now, we got Bo Nickel, which I know you and I are since I'm wearing the Penn State shirt, very excited to see Bo Nickel. So let's get to it, man.
Sounds good. So we're going to talk about the 4 fights. Unfortunately, we did lose the Basharat fight. His opponent weighed in like over 10 pounds overweight. So that fight is off, but we do still have 4 fights to talk about. Before we get into these 4 fights, if you guys can please leave a like, subscribe here to the MMA Engine. Me and Lou will be going live every Monday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for about 20 to 25 minutes, talking about our bets and breaking down this card a little bit. All right, Lou, let's get into it. We'll start with the first fight of the night. We have Alessandro Costa going against Andres Luna Martinetti, and I'll let you kick us off. What are you liking and who are you liking in this first fight of the night?
So I'm on the Costa side. It's the line's gotten a little out of hand at minus 265, but this is one thing I worry about in this fight, but I'll break down the grappling first. I think Martinetti's kind of strange and unconventional. His grappling is really weird. Like, it's effective. He's made it work in some of the tape I've seen, but like, he kind of goes, he's not like a standard grappler. Like, he goes for some really strange transitions. And whereas Costa's more traditional, I think he's very slick on the ground. What worries me is on the feet is that Martinetti, like, he throws like a lot of leg kicks and he's more active. And Costa is just kind of like, he's patient. So the one reservation I have about this fight is, and I've talked about it like last week or 2 weeks ago with Simone and Shore, when you get 2 guys that are like pretty active and serious grapplers, a lot of times you end up in one of these weird striking matchups. So like, I would hope that we don't see that here. If it does stay on the feet, Costa has the power advantage and I think can get him out of there. I don't think Martinetti has the power to, I know they're fighting at 125, but I don't think Martinetti has the power to get Costa out of there, even if he's the bigger guy that's fought like, up at 135. But for me, I think Costa has the serious moment winning on the feet. I think he's going to have the advantage on the ground. And I think has a little better cardio. It's always tough with these things to really tell. A lot of these fights are set up early in their career fighting 0-0 guys, but it seems like Costa's looked better in the second and third rounds from what I've seen. So give me Costa minus 265. I actually don't hate the decision prop here either at plus 150. I could see the grappling at least canceling each other out for a while, but safer play is Costa, but Costa decision is plus 150, which I like too.
I'm kind of upset, man. We look at this opener. This is why this week I'm gonna start getting ahead and getting some of these lines, man. Costa opened up plus 170, went to plus 140, and just continuously went down. He's now minus 270, and rightfully so. This is probably my favorite fighter on this entire first week. I love what I see from Costa. This guy has a ton of power. He's very fun and exciting. On top of that, his wrestling is good. He's very physically strong. I think he has the better cardio. I think it's a ton of advantage in this fight. So for him to open up plus 170 just makes no sense to me. Maybe it's because Martinetti's 12-0, but those 12 wins, a lot of them are very questionable there. So Martinetti, he does leave a ton of openings on the feet. He's there to be hit. His chin's up in the air, and even on the mat, like, he gets himself into a ton of bad spots. He's able to get out of a lot of them, but Costa, he seems legit to me. So I agree with the line movement. And yeah, like you said, it's tough because this fight is at 125 pounds and they don't finish a ton, but Costa has finished 80% of his wins. Martinetti obviously never been finishing undefeated, but I'm kind of leaning the Costa inside the distance. Costa inside the distance is plus 125. And you're leaning that Costa by decision, but I think we can both agree on that, Costa should win this fight. And minus 235, I don't hate it as a parlay piece. I guess I'm just pretty upset that I missed out on that freaking plus 170. So I think we can move on. We're both on the Costa side for this one.
The books just don't put the lines. Like, one of my books doesn't even have the money lines out for this. And Betway just put totals up a little bit ago. So I think Bet Online is really the only one you can get on early with these ones.
Yeah, for sure. Even like FanDuel and DraftKings, I don't even know if they're going to put lines out for this card, but hopefully
DraftKings did it last year. They always had lines out for this.
Probably tomorrow, but we'll see. All right, we'll move on to the next fight. We have Dennis Bazukia going against Caleo Romero. I'll let you start this one off. Who are you liking in this fight here?
So this is one that I can't get to a side on this. I am playing the over 2.5 at -155. I feel like Johnny the Greek. I'm just taking overs. On the feet, I think Bazuchka has a slight edge. And we know he's durable because Bagdasarian hit him a lot. Romero doesn't have the leg kicks that were really troubling him in the Bagdasarian fight. I'm just opening him up. But I like his durability. They're both training out of really good camps, too. Bazuchka's at Serra-Longo in Long Island. And Romero, I believe, is Team Alpha Male, which they're great camps to get prospects out of. On the ground, I want to say Romero. I think he has good entries. The problem is I don't know if he's kind of reckless on the feet. So if Bazuchka just comes out and wants to blitz him on the feet, I think he could actually be very effective early. But Romero seems to have an edge on the ground. I expect the cardio to be about equal here. This is a tricky one for me to pick, but I think that there's going to be a lot of grappling here. I don't think Bazuchka has any kind of grappling finishing ups. I don't think he has upside to get a finish on the ground. I think it would be from the feet. I think Romero has upside to get a finish on both, but I think Bazuchka's pretty durable. So I think this goes to decision. I have the over 2.5 -155 as a play. I would lean Bazuchka to win a decision. I don't know that Romero's wrestling is going to be effective past the first round.
Yep, sounds good. I'm right there with you. I guess the problem I have in terms of at least like a money line perspective is there's a lot of unknowns with Bazukia here because there's 3 fights. I've not been able to see those 3 fights. They're unavailable unless you pay for them, which I don't really want to do there. But the last time I did see him was that Bagdasarian fight, and then I watched some fights where he was 20 years old, and this guy's still very young, 24 years old. I did see him get taken down quite a bit and controlled for an entire fight, but again, that was 4 years ago. So, training with guys like Sterling, guys like that in New York, you got to expect a lot of improvements. And, like you said, Bazukia should be the better striker here. Romero, he's a wrestler. I believe he has a wrestling background, and that's pretty much all he is. He's pretty one-dimensional. He's going to go for takedowns nonstop. And I feel like Bazukia should be able to stuff these takedowns, keep it on the feet. And when it is on the feet, I do favor Bazukia ever so slightly. We'll take a look at the money line here. We have Bazukia opening up -180, currently -209. Romero opening up +155, currently +179. I don't think I'm going to touch the money line, but what I do like, is that fight goes to decision, man. -125, the over 2.5, -155. Like you said, Bazukia, he's not much of a finisher, only a 43% finish rate. And then, like you said, he's very tough. We saw him eat a ton of shots against Melsick, a ton of hard shots too. I think he might have got hurt once, but he recovered right away. This guy's a chin on him. So I'm leaning with you there. I like the Bazukia by decision, which is +150, but even more, the over 2.5 rounds, -155, I think is the way to go.
Just so you know, DraftKings does have money lines and totals right now. They don't have anything, no props, but just the money lines and the total. So
okay, cool. Sweet.
In case anybody was curious about getting in on it tonight.
Absolutely. That is great to know. All right, here we go. We have Uncle Wheezy's favorite fight of the night. I see him in the chat. Anton Turquoise going against Vsossio dos Santos. We have the Pleasure Man. The Pleasure Man, probably the best nickname you can have is the Pleasure Man. And I'll kick this one off here. And the Pleasure Man, this guy is a finisher. He has a 100% finish rate. I guess the problem for me with the Pleasure Man is not the nickname. I love the nickname. The problem for me is there's red flags with this guy. There's question marks. His gas tank is very suspect. I've seen him slow down in the middle of the first round, huffing and puffing. I think he's not been over that 1.5 round mark in his pro career. He is 11-3 as an amateur, so he is very experienced, but I have seen him taken down. I've seen him stuck on his back. And like I said, the cardio and the get-up game as a whole is just a concern. And I feel like if the Pleasure Man does not finish early on, it could get extremely sketchy here for him. So he is a pretty decent-sized favorite. The Pleasure Man is -200 here. And I don't know if I can get there because of these question marks, of these red flags. But I am going to pick the Pleasure Man. There's no way I'm going against him. And I'm going to pick him to win by first-round finish. But if this fight does get extended, you got to believe Dos Santos should be able to take over. I'm not impressed with Dos Santos at all, really. I think he's really slow on the feet. I think he leaves a lot of openings. I think he is very hittable. And I think, the Pleasure Man can finish him in the first round. But, Dos Santos does seem to have some good grappling. It just, he doesn't go to his takedowns as much as I really like to see. If I knew for a fact that Dos Santos would come in here and wrestle early on, I'd like him a little bit more, but he doesn't wrestle as much as I'd like to see there. So I'm leaning Pleasure Man. I think there's really only one way to play the Pleasure Man, and that's going to be round one, which round one plus 250, which is okay. I think that's his win condition. If this fight does get to the second round, I heavily favor Dos Santos. I'll be looking at this fight from a live betting standpoint. If the Pleasure Man does not finish Dos Santos in round one, I'll be looking to live bet Dos Santos. Dos Santos is not a finisher. I think he has like a 43% finish rate off the top of my head. Yeah, it's 43%. 43% by knockout. Believe it or not, 0 submissions for Dos Santos. So I'm kind of leaning Dos Santos by decision or the Pleasure Man in the very first round. Lou, how are you feeling about this fight here?
So yeah, like I think it's binary a way to bet it. If you liked Pleasure Man, it's round one. I had to put that up there. I'm sorry.
I love it.
The odds probably weren't wide enough. I think if you like the Pleasure Man, it's round one or a distance, but this under minus 205 is telling you everything you need to know because like you brought up the finishing thing and I was going to bring up Betya Santos. The guy's not a finisher. His grappling's decent, but it seems like the whole under is predicated on the questions we have of the cardio of the Pleasure Man. Like we don't, it's in 7 minutes and 16 seconds is the latest he's ever gone to a fight. He's the kind of guy that Dana White wants to build around. The problem I have is he's another guy that like, he's so one-dimensional that if Dos Santos gets him down once in the first round, I'd love to see what he looks like in the second. So I'm taking the dog shot here on Dos Santos, even though Turquoise has the one clip of him looking like the Ultimate Warrior winning and then like booking it out of the cage. Like he's late for dinner, which I thought was hilarious. But I'm going to take a shot on Dos Santos to get some of the grappling going. It's like you said, I don't know that he goes to it a lot, but I hadn't seen any highlights of Turquoise taken down. He hasn't, so his takedown defense and his cardio were like major question marks. Dos Santos is at least proven. I mean, he had a grappling match with Almeida, like Jim Almeida. Like at least he can, like at least he has like some cardio here. So I'll take the guy with the better cardio here at the dog price. This line got hammered. I mean, if you like Dos Santos, I mean, he was plus 230, 240. Yeah. But I'm going to take the dog shot here. It's my one dog that I have for the whole thing. So give me Dos Santos to get some kind of grappling going. But I'm with you too. The live betting angle is perfect for this because if it gets out of the first, I don't know if his power can carry past it.
Yeah, man, I don't hate that dog shot at all. I mean, I'm not laying minus 200 on the Pleasure Man, no matter how good his nickname is, right? But I just think he is going to absolutely have opportunities early. This guy's very dangerous. He has a ton of power. And I do think Dos Santos does leave a lot of openings. He's going to be at a speed disadvantage. But yeah, if this fight gets out of the first round, I would be terrified laying minus 200 on the Pleasure Man. So, yeah, I think Dos Santos money line as a dog is not the worst look in the world. Dos Santos by decision, I don't think is too bad. Plus 350. Like you said, he's not much of a finisher, but the under 2.5 minus 205, I don't like that. I think my best look is just going to be that round one Pleasure Man finish. I think if it gets out of the round one, I'm going to be very terrified. Do they have the Pleasure Man?
He could win by like Rashkoff stool quitting. I mean, that's like you never know. Like he might just be so tired after 2 rounds being taken down. He's like, nope.
I mean, yeah,
it happens.
I was gonna see if they had the first round Pleasure Man at knockout, but it looks like they don't have it because he's not submitting Dos Santos.
No.
Almeida couldn't submit him, so
right.
But yeah, looks like we are going the opposite ways there. Kind of a sketchy fight, like definitely a sketchy fight, but it should be fun.
Well, it's hard to feel confident about any of these. I mean,
yeah,
we're flying so blind here. Like, we only have the limited tape that we have, and especially a guy like Turquoise. Like, I mean, just wait till we get to Bo Nichols tape, where it's like, cool. I watched all 32 seconds of his MMA tape.
Yeah,
I gotta go watch it. I gotta go dig up like the Penn State archives and get all his wrestling. Like you just don't know with some of these guys, but.
Yeah, that's the fun of it, though. I feel like
hell after Askarov from a couple of weeks ago, like now we don't know if some of these fights even actually happened. Like we have to verify that the fight's in their record. Like, oh, there's no tape of this. Like it may not have happened. We don't know.
Yeah, But let's get to this main event, man. We have Ozzy Diaz going against Joseph Pifer. Pifer has fought on the Contender Series before. Should be an absolute banger. Both these guys do come to bang. I will let you kick this one off. What are you liking for the main event here?
I mean, like, you have to ask which side I'm on here. Like, come on,
True.
man.
No, you're
I'm
right.
on the Joe Pifer side. Where does he train? Daniel Gracie Gym in Philly. The line has taken some weird steam. I know a lot of people are on Ozzy Diaz this week, and I understand that. Like, he has a height and reach advantage. Like, I think he has more power. The one thing about him is he doesn't throw combinations. Like, his jab is really good, but he's not throwing like 2-3 piece combinations. So I think Pifer's pretty tough. Like, I think he can withstand just any one punch as long as it's not like just a perfect bomb. But Diaz is kind of wild, like, wings some punches. Uh, I think it'll be sort of competitive on the feet, but I gotta favor Pifer on the ground. And look who he's training with. Like, look at the guys he's training with right now. His cardio is a little bit suspect, but I'm sure they've been working on that with these guys. Working with Brady and Sabatini in the gym. I would hope he's not working with Wells, because Wells would probably just knock him out in like 10 seconds. But everything for me. And then, you got to give him he's been on the show before. He looked all right against Stoltzfus. Like, he screwed himself over. Like, I thought he was winning that round. He hurt his arm, but he looked okay against Stoltzfus, who I may add is on a 1-fight winning streak in the UFC. So, like, it's great. It maybe that win will age well, but give me Pifer to get this to the ground and be way stronger on the ground. I also think this over 1.5 is kind of interesting because it is juiced. This under is juiced right now. But if this plays out like a lot of these fights play out at Gracie's gym, he's just going to wear him out with the wrestling for the first round and rinse and repeat in the second. So I kind of like the over 1.5 as a nice little plus odds play, but give me Pifer. And just there's Philly bias here, like, for the record. So take what I say with a grain of salt with this one.
Sounds good. I mean, yeah, this crazy line movement on this one as well. Like, there's been a couple fight. Like, Diaz opened up -300, currently -116. Pifer opened up +250, currently -104. The reason we do see this underjuiced is Diaz has never been over that 1.5 round mark in his entire career. And yeah, this is a close fight for me because I like what I see from both guys. Joseph Pifer, I feel like he's the more well-rounded fighter, like you said, training with those guys, Brady and them. I feel like that is huge. He's only 25 years old, which he still has a ton of room to grow, to improve, whereas Diaz, he is 31 years old. On top of that, I feel like Pifer can go the takedown route here. I wasn't able to find a ton of footage of Diaz's takedown defense and get-up game. I have saw him, stuff some takedowns here or there, but I feel like if Pifer does go that takedown route, he could definitely have success. In terms of the striking, like, Ozzy Diaz is a madman. This guy throws a ton of power. He's very dangerous. He's wild, and I like it. He's very fun to watch. Whereas you have Pifer, who's aggressive in his own right, lots of forward pressure, lots of great leg kicks, and a ton of power. So both these guys are extremely dangerous. So I see why they are, choosing that under so bad. I'm kind of leaning like maybe the over plus money could be a good look because I'm kind of with you. I think Pifer does get this fight extended. I do think we see the over 1.5 here, but it's going to be terrifying. I mean, these guys are just going to stand in the middle and bang for the most part. But yeah, especially if Pifer is able to work his game plan, get the fight down to the mat, his wrestling and grappling is actually really good. So I think a pick 'em about is right for me. I like what I see from Diaz. I like the striking, but I think the well-roundedness of Pifer and the fact that he has fought the better competition, the fact that he has been here before makes me lean him. But at a pick 'em, I think I'm going to pass here. Pifer, yeah, +250. Oh, yeah, I'd take that all day. I'd take +145. But where the line's at now, I'm probably going to pass. From a betting perspective, I don't know. I think if Diaz wins, I think it's going to be early on. This guy comes in here and he gets out. He gets in and gets out. Diaz round 1, +275. What is Diaz by knockout? +200. Nothing's really sticking out for me in this main event. So what's your favorite bet for this main event? Is it that over, or are you liking anything else?
Oh, I would take. I like the over is what I just feel like if Pifer can get the wrestling going, but this may be my like. I may poke Pifer round 3 here, just if if he gets the wrestling. I mean, if he gets the wrestling going early, we've never seen Diaz in the 3rd round, and we've seen Pifer, his cardio. Like, again, I haven't seen his cardio look like he's not a world beater cardio on tape, but I got to think that's like you can't go to that gym. You can't stay at that gym without like just having an intense cardio workout. Like that's what all those guys do. So if he's been there long enough, like I got to think that he's, any greasy four-leggers, by the way, Victor's asking us.
We could probably come up with one, but
I mean, there's four fights. I mean, like, like, it's the whole card parlay.
Yeah, I was looking at the fight doesn't go potentially, but they're all over at minus 325. The reason being Diaz 100% finish rate, Pifer 87.5% finish rate. Pifer has been finished twice. Once was that injury, and then he also got submitted. And then we see that Diaz also got knocked out in his only loss. So I was kind of looking at the fight doesn't go, maybe as a parlay piece potentially, but round 3 for Pifer is plus 1200, which could be interesting. So I think we're both on Pifer. I'm not going to be betting on this main event, I don't think, but we'll do a quick recap of our favorite bets. I'll kind of go first. The first fight, Costa. I think my favorite bet's probably just a money line, man. I know we all missed that plus money on him, which would have been nice, but I think they completely screwed up this line. I think he's my favorite fighter on the entire week 1. I like this guy. I like him on the feet. I like his power. I like his submission game. And I think he's the better fighter in this matchup. I like Costa, the money line. I don't mind Costa inside the distance at plus 125 as well. And the next fight, Bazookia and Romero, I like that over 2.5. I think we're both on that minus 155. I think that's a good look. Bazookia, tough as nails, can absolutely eat a shot. I think his takedown defense will hold up, and I think he's not the best finisher. I think the over is the way to go. The Pleasure Man, I think I might just sit back and watch this one as a fan of the Pleasure Man. But Pleasure Man round 1 is something I'm going to be looking at. And then for the main event, maybe like the fight doesn't go as a parlay piece, but nothing's really sticking out in the main event for me. So kind of recap your picks real quick, and then your favorite bets as well for these fights.
So I got the same first 2 as you. I'm going to play Costa. I don't know if I'm going to go time prop, but I actually do lean that decision. But I'm probably just going to stick to Costa. Never want to let's get off the show with a win. Let's just start off the right way. Over 2.5 for Romero Bazooka for every reason you just said. I'm on the Dos Santos side in that fight. I'm not going to play him any kind of time prop. I don't like really doing that too much against undefeated guys if I can avoid it. Like, that's why I'm not really confident with Costa either, but I think Dos Santos can extend him a little bit. Give me Joe Pifer. Give me Philly. Oh. Give me the Philly product, Joe Pifer, to get it done. So Pifer, Dos Santos, over 2.5 in the Romero Bazooka fight, and Costa. I do not know what it pays.
All right. And then 2 more things. First thing, Dan, I got to bring up this comment. The Pleasure Man has 5 minutes of the best bedroom cardio we've ever seen. I love it.
Dan's working on his tight 5 for his comedy act every time he's in here.
Dan's hilarious, man.
Oh, he's the best.
He said some other things, but usually I had to proofread what Dan says before I bring it up because I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. But yeah, shout out to Dan and shout out to all you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure you guys do leave a like. We'll be here every Monday. If you guys do enjoy the show, we do appreciate the likes and the support, but also have a request for a greasy 4-legger. So before we get out of here, we'll do the greasy 4-legger. Let's get a little greasy here. I'll kick it off for the first fight. I can actually pull up the parlay thing here. Here we go. So I'm going to take the Costa money line. I'm going to take the over 2.5 in the Bazookia Romero. I'm going to take, I don't want to parlay the Pleasure Man. I'm going to take the Pleasure Man, and then give me the fight doesn't go in the main event. So Costa minus 270, the over 2.5 in the Bazookia, the Pleasure Man, and then the fight doesn't go in the main event plus 342. Lou, what is your greasy 4-leg Dana White's parlay?
We're gonna go with Costa decision.
Oh, getting greasy.
We'll get, I guess, a little greasier with the Romero Bazooka. We'll just say fight goes the distance. I got a little better odds, I suppose, than the 155. Dos Santos. I want to say Dos Santos round 2.
Ooh, greasy.
I think if he does get the grappling going in the first, he could really tire this guy out. Maybe just could be like a verbal tap. And then I like Pifer round 3 to make it really greasy.
Oh my goodness.
Plus 1200. I mean, I'm clearly favoring this is a grappling day for me. Like 3 of the 4, it's because I like the grappling, and the other one is because I like the durability. So I think grappling's the name of the game this week.
Sounds good. All right, we did it. Man, you got greasy there. I didn't get it as greasy as that.
I mean, I'm a prop guy. What am I supposed to do?
You're right. I would expect nothing less from you, but we did it. Went through all 4 fights. If you guys do enjoy it, please leave a like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Lou, let the people know where they can find you, what you have going on throughout the rest of the week.
Lou Betya Twitter, MMA Engine, obviously. Friday, happy hour with Monk. And for Thursday, or this Thursday, I'm doing my prop show. The props to consider and maybe bet. I should mention I lost the shoey to Paul Shaughnessy of Dogger Pass, so I will be paying that off to start the show.
Sounds good. I will be there in attendance. All right, guys. Good luck for the Dana White's Contender Series Week 1. Tune in tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Probability with me and Uncle Weezy. And best of luck this week for some MMA content.